guys can see my Ignite screen? Yes? Okay, perfect. So welcome to session 5 of Ignite. I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself just in case you don't know who I am and what I do. My name is Melinda Tucker. I am on Amy Tremaine's team, and I also help her run the coaching business. So I've interacted with a lot of you already. If I have not, I'd love to meet you in person, give you a hug. I am an agent here in the office, and I am learning every day just like you guys are. So this is my first time teaching Ignite, so please be patient with me. I have a ton of notes that I'm going to go over, and I might stop and read my notes really fast, so please be patient with me. Does anybody have any questions or anything that we can address before we get right into the lesson? Anyone? That's all right. If at any time you have questions, please feel free to unmute yourself or raise your hand. I will do my best to look at the chat, but I have to kind of go from screen to screen, so bear with me, okay? So today is session 5, and in the first few sessions you did the real estate expert. We are now moving on to lead generation. You will probably get tired of hearing that word, but don't worry, we'll say it again in another hour, okay? So essentially what Keller Williams has done is said there are 4 parts to becoming a successful real estate agent, and we went over real estate expert. In the first few, we're on lead generation. We'll move to lead follow-up and then transaction portion. This is just kind of an overview of what we're going to do in this part of the Ignite session. So today we're on generate your leads, and then we'll also go over grow your database. And then we will also go over open houses, social media, and then capturing more leads. Just another timeline of what we're going to do today. I know that we always read these quotes, but I feel like they're super important. So my fear of failure was greater than my fear of lead generating. Have we heard that in Ignite already? I feel like we have, but I feel like it's really important because, you know, we're all scared to do a little lead generating, I think, sometimes depending on the day. So it's just really important to not let that fear stop you from lead generating. The 6 core competencies of a business: lead generate, capture and convert to appointments, present to buyers and sellers and get agreement, show buyers and market sellers, write and negotiate contracts, coordinate the sale to closing, and then manage the money. You first learned about these 6 core competencies in session 2. Lead generation is your #1 job. Leads fuel your business, helping you reach the goals you have set for yourself. The more leads you have, the more business and success you can have. Any questions on this so far? We're good? Okay, so we're going to go over some lead generation fears and myths. And I don't know about you, but I think these every single day. So this really helped me. I think lead generation is really difficult. I've thought that. I don't have time to lead generate. I feel that. I don't know what to say. Anybody else have these fears? I'm afraid of making mistakes. I think we're all afraid of that. We don't want to let people down. We don't want to say, yeah, I can help you, and then, oh, I don't know the answer to that question, so I'm just not going to do the activity. Don't let these fears and myths stop you. So let's go over another way to look at it. I think lead generation is really difficult. I was confusing effort with enjoyment. Lead generation is actually easy. It's just not fun. I'm going to stop right there and kind of go over my view of lead generation. I was noticing that when I attended functions, people talked to me about real estate. It was the weirdest thing. So I told myself that I am going to go to everything that I was invited to. Even a 5-year-old's birthday party, and all my kids are teenagers. I have no desire to go to that 5-year-old birthday party, but I'm going to go because that person has a good enough relationship with me that they invited me to their kid's birthday party. Every single function that I've gone to since I set out to do this, people have talked to me about real estate. I even got a deal from one. So when they say lead generation is actually easy, it's just not fun, I think that it can be fun. Because when I started forcing myself to go to those events, I end up having a little bit of fun, right? So that's another way to look at it. I don't have time to lead generate. I had an issue making time to lead generate and protecting that time. So to me, that tells me that you need to put it in your calendar and actually do the job. Actually do it when you say you're going to do it and protect your time. I don't know what to say. I had to get on a path of mastering the dialogue skills needed in this business. Does that resonate with anyone else? So what I hear from that is do everything that I can to make sure that I'm where I need to be to talk to clients, trainings, Ignite, listen to a podcast, read a real estate book. All of these things will further your knowledge and help you understand the business more. I'm afraid of making mistakes. I found that lead generation is nothing more than a set of tasks and skills that are well documented. Any questions on any of this, you guys? Is this helping you? Is this helping you get over some of those fears and myths? Yes, awesome. Okay, so we're going to talk now about your sphere of influence. Anybody else tired of hearing that? Well, it's not going to go anywhere. So lead generation is the #1 key to being successful in real estate. It doesn't matter how great you are at selling houses. If no one knows that you're in the business, how will they know to reach out to you? How do they know that you can help them? Let's see here. Let's talk about your sphere of influence. So this is you right here in the middle. And these are all of the people that you know. This person is going to know 5 other people that might need your help. This person is going to know 10 other people that you need to help. So it's really important to love on the people that you know and don't just focus on them for right now. If that's all you're doing, building those relationships with your sphere is really important. So let's talk about the potential opportunity that you have in your contacts. Has anybody seen this chart before? No? Okay. So essentially what this chart is doing is it's telling you how much potential money you can make just by what's in your phone. Oh, we have a chat. Can you hear me now? Okay. I just now saw that chat.
Good.
Okay, sorry. So what I want you to do is get your phone out. And I want you to go to your contacts. And at the very bottom, scroll all the way to the bottom. You should see a number. Can you see my number? So mine is 1,110 contacts.
I have 1,736 contacts.
Well, it's not a contest, Amy. No, I'm just kidding. It is a contest. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to use this now or later, and you can see how much potential you have in your phone to make money. So what they're saying is in this scenario, the number of contacts in your phone is 250. Potential closing opportunities from contacts, 20. So out of that 250 contacts, there are 20 people in this database that are potentially going to sell in the next year. And then the potential referrals in your database is 25. You add those two together, it's 45, average commission 10,000, income opportunity $450,000, just by loving and reaching out to the people in your database. Any questions on this? Does anybody else have opportunity to make money in their phone? If you don't, let me have them. I'll call them. Just kidding.
Somebody's calling them.
Yeah.
It's just not you.
Okay, so we already covered how many people you have in your phone and how many potential sales they represent in the next year. Your contact list is your database. Your social media is another potential database. Sorry, let me read my notes really fast. If you're going to be in a relationship with your contacts in a professional sense, you need to have them organized, accessible, in a smart database, which is Command. Is anybody using Command yet? Has anybody met with Vince?
I did.
Okay, how did that go?
Good. I do not have too much contacts, but the ones that I have, I think are good.
Awesome, that's awesome. Okay, if you have not met with Vince, I strongly suggest that you do that. Command and your phone will talk. So you can, if they just talk to each other and you can pull it up and do notes and all this stuff. And when you add a contact into Command, it'll go into your phone. It's amazing, life-changing. Okay, let's see. So we are in the lead generation model now, and this is the model. This is what essentially the lead generation model will look like forever. So you capture a lead by prospecting and marketing, you put them into your database. You build relationships off of those leads and you make contacts on them. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but the word contacts gets used a lot. So when we talk about our contacts, we talk about, in one sense, we're talking about their name, their phone number, their email address, their address. The more you have, the better, right? And then we talk about contacts in a sense of, like, I text my best friend, happy birthday. And then I call her and I ask her if she wants to go out for coffee. That's a contact. A text is a contact. So we're touching them. We're building that relationship. So in this sense, we're talking about the touches on the contacts. We're talking about reaching out to them, sending them a birthday card, going to their birthday party, even if you don't want to, building up at those existing relationships. And then essentially what we want them to do is go down to that number 3, where we're cultivating and converting them in, you know the word I'm talking about. We're converting them into business, right? So we're taking those relationships and they know us and trust us and like us enough to trust us with buying or selling a home. And then at the end, step 4, we're just going to put them right back up there into that top and hope that they funnel down. Questions, concerns? Am I talking too fast?
May I
Amy.
clarify just one thing?
Yes.
First of all, Melinda's doing a great job, right, guys?
Thank you.
She's
I'm
fantastic.
sweating like crazy.
I think you're killing it. So this is really important for you to visualize. Lead capture is you going out into the world and getting contact information. Phone numbers, emails. I'm telling you, if you have a conversation with someone and you hand them your number and they walk away from this, do not expect to receive business from them. And if you do, it's just, you're going to get disappointed a lot because people don't reach out as much as you think they would. So you want to get their contact information. You want to get it into your database. And then you've gotten somebody's contact information for the first time. You've gotten permission to reach out to them. They are still a lead. They are still a lead because you need to reach out to them until they give you something that makes them a contact, AKA, are they a buyer? Are they a seller? Are they just someone that's going to live in your database for a while that you can pull referrals from? That's when they move into a contact. But if I meet someone at an open house and they give me their number and I never get a hold of them again, they stay in my lead section. As soon as I get a hold of them and they're like, yes, contact me again, let's stay in touch. That's when they move into contacts. And then once I know, like, do they like dogs? Do they like to do this? Do they want to buy? Do they want to sell? Do they want to invest? Where are they in this grand scheme of my business? And how can I provide them with individualized value? Meaning that if they want to buy, I'm sending them properties. If they want to sell, I'm giving them their home valuation or updates on their market. If they're an investor, I'm sending them properties or off markets that I find. That's how you truly cultivate those relationships. People are in business. People will do business with you because they like you, but they'll stay doing business with you because you're providing them with value. And that's where number 3 is. Number 3 is all about providing value. And that's when they'll drop down into new business, and then referrals, and then they stay in your contacts forever. So when we say lead generation is the core of your business, the people that I did business with last month, I'm still contacting them every month. I still contact them regularly. And how's it going? How's the product that I sold you? Right? Okay, I'm done. Back to you.
Great information. Okay, so prospecting and marketing are lead generation activities that deliver leads into your business. What does that mean to some of you? Anyone feel like sharing? Prospecting and marketing are lead generation activities that deliver leads into your business.
To me, prospecting is like, in the examples I've seen, is like going like door to door and like connecting with people, whereas marketing to me is like Facebook ads, trying to and then people who that you meet either through either of those methods could potentially become leads if you can keep the conversation going.
Absolutely. I love that. So Amy, cut me off if I'm wrong, but I consider myself to be prospecting and marketing myself daily at Starbucks, at Walmart, when I'm standing in line, when I'm at a party with friends, and maybe I don't know everybody there. Maybe not everybody there knows that I sell real estate, but at all times I am prospecting myself and I'm marketing myself to other people. So just keep that. That helps me, especially when I have road rage and I don't want to act nice. I'm like, calm yourself. I don't know if that helps anyone else, but so this kind of separates prospecting versus marketing. Marketing can be money intensive, passive, and long-term results, while prospecting is time intensive, proactive, and immediate results. So when you're prospecting, you're building those relationships, and marketing can sometimes look like spending money and long-term goals. Relationship management. A database is a container that holds the information of your leads and contacts. A smart database / data bank allows you to have planned and meaningful communication with your database. Relationship management. Leads, people who have earned the right to at least have a one-way conversation with. Contacts, people you've held a two-way conversation with and whom you've established a value-based relationship with. To me, that's telling me what the difference of a lead and a contact is, right? So leads, let's say I have a handyman come over and fix a shelf on my wall, and he gives me a cell phone number. That's a lead, right? He goes into my phone. I don't know about you guys, but I always do this because I have a horrible memory. So I will put people into my phone like Norma, PTA mom, Jose, whatever. I always put how I know them so that I can it's like a mental note for myself. Chuck, you have a question? Was that on
Yes.
accident? Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What's your approach, like in general conversation, to obtain someone's email address?
That's a great question. Just ask it.
Okay.
Can I have your email address? I have some great information that would be helpful to you.
Okay.
Normally people don't have a problem with that, especially if you already know them and they like you. They're not going to have a problem with that. Or you can just say, I'm trying to build up my database and it is not complete. Can I have your email address? Sometimes I send out gifts, or I don't know, something. I mean, you don't have to, but.
I just wondered how, like, in general conversation, you could lead into that, getting their email. So
yeah, just
If I
telling
can-
them. Go ahead, Amy.
practice,
I
right?
was just going to say, if I can chime in, ask them. So if the conversation usually goes that way, if they're looking to buy or sell, like if I talk to them about real estate and they're like, oh yeah, if you're having a conversation with someone and real estate never comes up, asking them for their email is going to be kind of weird, right? So know your audience, know how to interact, right? But I like to offer them things of value. So if they're like, oh, I'm a homeowner. Oh, well, I can actually send you something automatic. It's really not that big a deal. I just send you automatically to what's going on in your neighborhood. Do you have somebody doing that for you? Do you know what every real estate transaction that happens in your neighborhood? No? Okay, great. Well, shoot me your email address and I'll start sending that to you. Here, let me put it in my phone. If it's a buyer, say, hey, look, I got a home searching app and a website. You can search homes all over the country. It's pretty cool. I give it to all my clients and I can give it to you. And even if you're looking for property in Texas, Tennessee, New York, you can use it to look at stuff. You know, everybody likes to look at real estate. So things like that, kind of offering them something that would value them. It's an easy ask to get their contact information.
Okay,
What was the app?
thank you.
What was that?
What was the app that you could search any property anywhere?
It's your KW app.
KW app. Got it.
Yep. Red. It's a white one with red letters.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, thank you, Amy. Relationship management. Relationships must be attended to, cared for, and cultivated. I attended BOLD. Has anybody heard BOLD before? Amy has. You will hear Keller Williams talk about BOLD all of the time. It's an amazing conference, essentially, that you go to for, I believe, 8 weeks. They have time carved out to make calls. I was dreading it. I was not happy about it. And they essentially make you call people on your phone. They don't make you, they don't sit next to you and make sure that you do it. But I mean, you're only hurting yourself if you don't, right? These are people that are in my phone. One of the calls, I think my first call was my best friend and it was like, hi, I need you to just talk to me for 5 minutes, okay? But I actually got a deal off of it and another one that's coming at the end of the year that wants to buy then. So relationships must be attended to, cared for, and cultivated. These are people in your phone that you should have some type of relationship. There should be no reason why I was terrified to call people in my phone. So we'll talk about that a little bit later, but it's important to know that you have to build those relationships and make sure that people know that you're selling real estate so that they know they can call you. Types of communication. So these are contacts again. Contacts to your contacts. We're touching them. We're making sure that we're keeping up on those relationships. You can call them, email them, text, face-to-face, KW app, handwritten communication. I love cards. I don't know what it is about receiving a card in the mail. I think it's because nobody does it anymore that I love it. However, maybe Amy doesn't. Maybe Amy likes a phone call. So
there's no way I don't like getting a card. Who doesn't like getting a card?
yeah. I like it, especially if there's money in it, but that's just me.
I like to make phone calls called care calls. And that's literally all I have ever done from the moment that I sat down at my desk as a brand new real estate agent. That's all I've ever done is I call people and I said, hey, how are you? That was my script. It's the Ford script. How are you? What are you doing?
How's the family?
Yeah. How are you? It's been a long time. I mean, I called people that I hadn't talked to you in 10 years. I was like, it's been a long time. Isn't that weird? We're like adults now, you know? And I just kind of made light of it. And was it awkward sometimes? I mean, it was less awkward than you would think. What it is
less
that this
awkward than calling them and saying, hi, do you need to buy, sell, or invest in real estate?
100%. And then they would say, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you up to? And I'd be like, oh, I sell real estate now. Yeah. I opened up my business this year. I'm super excited about it. I've been working hard. So like, if you know anybody, just let me know. I'll be there for you. But like, what are you doing? See how I just flipped it around and now they know I sell real estate. They know I'm there for them, but I flipped it around to now we're talking about them. 9 times out of 10, they flip it right back on me and we start talking about it again because it's a sexy subject. But no,
so
your
what do you
people
guys
don't want to
think?
be called. Oh, I was just going to say your people don't want to be called and sold. You're never going to convince anybody to sell. What you want to convince them of is that when they are ready to do a transaction, you're the person to use. That's it.
Yeah. What do you guys think people love to talk about? Anybody have an answer?
Family.
Okay. Themselves. What's going on in their world? They want to, I like talking, like if you called me and asked me how I'm doing, you might be in for it right now, but I'm going to tell you, you know what I mean? People like to talk about themselves. And then When you ask them how they're doing, what's going on, did your kid go to college? How's that going? They're, like Amy said, they're going to ask you what you're doing. They're going to know that you care. And you really do. You just right now don't really have a reason to call them, right? This will be your reason. So your database will generate leads in the form of new, repeat, or referral business. So now we're at the bottom of that funnel, and then we essentially want them to go right back up. Lead generation never ends, is best when it's time blocked, determines the size of your business. I'm going to read that again because I feel like it's really important. It never ends. It's the best when you time block and determines the size of your business. It determines the size of your business. Any ahas or anything that anyone wants to discuss before we move on to the next part? Any comments? Concerns? All right.
If you were at the award ceremony today and you were like, wow, how do all those people do that? It's because, and I will say this, not all of them did it in the beginning. There were 2 people specifically that John called out that said, these people have been in coaching for a while and they're now in the top 20%. But previously they were selling a couple homes a year. And when they finally hunkered down and started actually doing the activities of lead generating, their business shot through the roof. And they had to pay a coach to tell them how to do that. You guys are in it right now with me, right? And Melinda and everybody that's a coach, we're all going to tell you the same thing. If you just do what they say and let the fears take a back seat, you'll be up there next year easily.
Amen. Okay, so let's talk about your sphere of influence. This essentially is perfect for me because earlier when I said that I'm prospecting and marketing myself every day, all throughout the day, this is what I mean. You know, at the coffee shop, when the lady asks you how you're doing. Oh, great, I'm getting ready to go show a home. Fantastic, you're in real estate? Yes. And then leave a big tip. I don't know. Volunteering at the gym, your neighbor, playing at the park with your kids.
I don't
know if I would ask my doctor, but
I would absolutely ask your doctor. I've interrupted like 4 people at the gym since the beginning of the year and gotten their contact information to put them into my database to try to sell them something. And I'm not even concerned about if they necessarily buy right now. It's just that adding that contact to my database. I know eventually if I market to them enough, then I have
tell me how that went. Can you give me a scenario? Like you're just over there pumping iron and then there's this girl that you've seen every day because you go to the gym at the same time.
Well, I'll tell you. So
okay.
the first one was a friend of my boyfriend's. He walked up to him and was kind of like, they were doing the whole, like, I do, male stuff, like, oh, I do this, I do that. Right. And so then I was like, I'm just standing there like, okay. They're kind of like, I do this for business and I do this for business and the guy's like, I'm thinking about moving up to Auburn, which is where my boyfriend, and I literally was like, hi,
hello, my name's Amy.
Hi, my name's Amy. If you're thinking about moving, I just want you to know, I want to be the one to help you out with that. Here, let me get your phone number. I can give you my app. Like, I just tell them what to do. When I was in Bold, the last time we had an agent on our team, she sells 97 homes a year. And she said, I don't ask, I tell. And that's why I sell. Because it's not about, can I get your phone? No. Oh my gosh, I'm going to send you my app. It's really cool. Everybody likes it. What's your phone number? 916? That's exactly what I did. And he just finished it for me. And then he was like, oh, well, I'm not looking to buy for, a couple months. I'm like, that's okay. I'm not worried about that. I was like, I just want to make sure that you have somebody that's in your corner when you do. And then I put him into my database and I started sending him properties from Auburn.
Yep.
Done. The next 2 were these 2 kids that were talking about renting. I happen to have a rental that's my own right now, but they were talking about renting. And I was like, seriously, like, are they talking about moving? And so I opened up the conversation with, hey, I have a rental that's coming up. It's this. And they were like, oh yeah, that doesn't really fit what we're looking for. I was like, oh, okay, good. And they brought it up. They're like, it sounds like you're always in your bag, because they're young and they talk like that. And I said, always. In fact, I'm a real estate agent. So if you ever need any help with housing, I want you to know that I can help you. We see each other here all the time. Now, they didn't want to give me their contact information. I didn't feel awkward. I didn't feel weird. I was like, oh, okay, well, when you need me, I'll be getting that from you. And then I just went back to working out. So does it always work out? And is it always a slam dunk? No, but it's always worth the effort. And no one has ever been like, middle finger to you, leave me
Yeah.
alone. No one, never, anytime in my career.
Does anybody else desire to be as bold as Amy? I do.
Well, here's the deal, guys. If I don't do this, my kids don't eat.
Yeah.
So it's very real for me. I'm a single mom. I have multiple mortgages. I have multiple car payments. I have cell phone bills, multiple cell phone bills. My kids want internet. They want to eat a lot of food. I like to have a good life. And
I don't know why the kids want to eat every day.
it's crazy. So
Yeah.
when your dreams become non-negotiable for you, you will do whatever you have to do to go out and get them. And that's what makes me just step outside of myself. It's not comfortable. I'm always a little bit like, but I just kind of lean into the fear and do it anyways.
Makes me feel very blessed to have her as a coach.
Oh, don't make me cry.
This is cut off a little bit and I couldn't figure out how to fix it, but this is just going over the different categories of your sphere, your immediate family, your friends, your relatives, your neighbors, past coworkers, any hobbies that you have, teachers at your kids' school, worship, church, club, volunteer, all of the things. Everyone in your contact is in your phone for a reason because you needed their phone number at one time, right? So we're going to skip through these because we're not going to categorize our.
I do have a reason for you all to call today.
Okay.
And I want you to reach out to your people and I want to say, inflation has sucked. Businesses are having a harder time than ever. So what I'm doing is I'm putting together a list of preferred vendors. Do you or anybody you know own a business? And they're going to say yes or no. And say, okay, well, what kind of business? If they don't own a business, say, okay, what kind of business are you in? And if I could present you with some kind of referral, if I could bring some business to you, what would that look like? How can I pre-qualify people to bring you business?
Can you
And then
repeat
they're
that?
gonna tell you. Yeah. So and I've done this before, and I do this a lot. When somebody is, when you're calling your sphere, say, hey, times have been tough. I'm really trying to support my friends and their local businesses because I'm a small business. I'm a local small business, and I want to make sure that we all support each other. So I'm wondering, do you or anybody you know own a business? And if they tell you yes, say, okay, great. Can I have their name and number? I would love to call them. And I would love to put them on my preferred and attempt to put them on my preferred vendor list because I'm looking to add people to my list to help out my clients, but also to provide my local business owners more business. And they're going to say yes, and they're going to give you names. And there you go. You just got people added to your database.
So
So then
Amy gave you a reason to call everyone in your phone, even if you don't know who Bob is. Who's
Yeah.
Bob? They don't
So
have a last name.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm a local business owner. I'm a local small business owner, and this is what I'm doing. No one's going to be upset with that. Second of all, I've helped people get jobs because I did this during COVID, and somebody was like, yeah, it's terrible. I just lost my job. And I said, well, what do you do for a living? I've been on the phone for like 2 hours. I've already called all these people. I have other people that own businesses. And he's like, well, I'm in construction and I'm just looking for work. Well, I had already talked to a contractor. And so all I did is I said, okay, I'm going to make some phone calls. I'm going to get back to you. How about that? I got a little bit. I was like, how long you been doing it? And what do you do? And he said, I've been doing it 20 years. I'm a carpenter, blah, blah, blah. I said, all right, cool. I'm going to call you back. I shot a text message over to the contractors that I had known, and I found somebody that needed a helper, and I got them hooked up, and I created that opportunity for them. Did it do anything for me right up front? No, but those people I got to help. And I can guarantee that when they think of me and they think of real estate and they think of the help that I gave, that they're going to return that favor. And what it did is I added a ton of people to my preferred vendor list, and I'd added a lot of people to my database. So now when they see my name come up, they're like, oh, that girl's cool. She like tries to help me get business. I'm going to help her too.
Great information. So what we're looking at right now is old law, and it says change the way to look at things and the things you look at change. When I met with Vince and we were going over putting my contacts into command, the one rule he gave me is don't scrub your database. And I was like, well, that's silly. There's 100 people in there that I probably don't even know who they are. It's probably from Little League, their phone numbers changed. And he was like, it doesn't matter. So the exercise that we were going to do, but we can't because we're via Zoom, is putting your contacts into categories and just kind of helping you realize that every single person in your phone is a potential for you to help them. You just need to find it within yourself to know that you can help them and you do have something of value. Every single person needs a place to live. They are either renting or they are buying. Now you might be thinking, I can't help them if they're renting. Yes, you can. We have people here in our office who have property management companies. So you can always go walk over there or email them and say, hey, do you have any rentals? I have a client who's looking. And if you help them find a rental, you are going to be so high up for them that they're going to love you. And then maybe when they are ready to buy a home, they will use you. So just change the way you look at things. It might help. Any ahas or anything anybody wants to talk about? Questions, concerns? Nothing? Okay, so let's talk about expanding your sphere of influence. Add more personal information to your sphere of influence in your contacts. What does that look like? So my best friend, for instance, I have her phone number, that's it. So I could reach out to her and say, hi, I need your email address. Essentially everyone, you should have their email address, but if you can start building that, maybe setting yourself goals, like every day I'm going to call 10 people and I'm going to get their email address. I'm going to get their address. I'm going to get their birth date, things like that. So strengthen casual connections. What does that mean? This picture is a picture of a soccer game. So you can see the mom and the dad standing on the sidelines. There's always parents around. So instead of sitting out in center field at your son's baseball game, maybe you sit in the stands. Maybe you don't want to, but if it can help build those relationships and get you more people in your contacts, I bet you would. It's just something to think about. Obviously, none of this is required and it's all up to you in order to enact. But these are ways that you can expand your sphere. You can put more people into your contacts. This is another way, join groups. So if you had to ask me what I would do if I wanted to go volunteer somewhere, anybody who follows me on Facebook will probably tell you she's gonna do something with dogs because I love dogs. I have 3 very large German Shepherds. They're my babies. Nobody can tell me any different. And that's just how the story goes. So I would probably do that. Robert might do something different. Jordan might do something different. Maybe Jordan's working with the homeless. Maybe Robert is at a local youth place. We all have different interests. We all have different desires. You know what I mean? What brings me joy might not bring Jordan joy. Maybe he doesn't like dogs. Well, we also have cats, so maybe he's gonna go and cat fits. What I mean is do something that you like. Do something that you're passionate about. The number one thing I hear agents say is, I don't know a lot of people. Well, let's change that. Go do something that you can start adding more contacts into your database. That makes sense? Okay, referrals. Obviously, when you start doing business, or even if you haven't done business yet, you call people on your phone and you say, I'm a real estate agent. Do you know anybody that needs my help that might want to buy or sell? Or even if they're looking for a rental, I might be able to help them. Most of the time, all of the calls that I made for Bold, none of them were them directly. I just had a deal closed Friday and it was a call from Bold, and I called one of my best friends and I thought it was going to be just, this is somebody I know that I'm not going to feel super uncomfortable asking for business. And she actually had business for me. Her dad needed to purchase a home and I just helped him close on his deal on Friday. So it's not necessarily the person you call. They're probably going to refer business out to you. So don't sleep on that either. Gather leads from your sphere of influence. I'm building my business on people I know and the people they know. Do you know of any family or friends, work, or your neighbors that are thinking of buying or selling a home? This is essentially the exact script I read in bold. It was super uncomfortable. I was not happy about it, but I did it. I made myself do it. What I would recommend is you calling someone. I'm not gonna lie. I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I need to practice with you. I need you to act like ring, ring, just called you. And I did this and I did it over and over. And I had her ask me questions because I was terrified. What am I going to do if they ask me questions? I have no idea. We're just going to hope for the best, right? Practice with someone. Hang on a second. I got too worked up there. Practice with someone that you're not afraid to be vulnerable with. Your wife, your husband, your best friend, your sister, your mom. I mean, essentially, actors do that all the time. They practice their lines. They do it over and over again so that they make less mistakes. So it's just something to think about. And then you can always follow up with, I've called people before and they're like, no, I can't think of anyone. One of two things happens. Well, I guess one of three things happens. A, they don't call you because they can't think of anybody. Okay, that's fine. B, I've had this happen more times than not. They'll text me either later that day or the next day and say, you know what? I forgot. My dad's looking to sell. Perfect. Or in the next couple of weeks, they'll do that exact same thing, right? So if you heard of someone with real estate needs, will you please keep me in mind? It doesn't hurt asking them for their business. Any ahas or questions or anything like that?
I have a comment to make. Piggybacking off of what you were mentioning earlier about yourself. Just as far as growing your sphere of influence.
Mhm.
I don't know if people are familiar on here with Meetup, the website Meetup.
Okay.
Meetup is a great platform. And basically what it is you just go on there and meet people and you join groups. And what I find fascinating about that is you can go on there and type in some of the things that you like to do. For instance, if you like to go, you're an outdoor person, you like to go hiking and whatever, you can actually join that group and stay in tune. And these groups of folks meet up in different places. So that's just a great platform to like introduce yourself as a realtor or just be involved and grow your sphere of influence.
I love that. So essentially you can type in your zip code, your city.
Yes.
Oh, have you used it before?
I have. I'm currently on there now with a few different groups, and it's like hey, and I've actually experienced it with a couple of groups where we meet at a public place and interact with each other. And what I do,
Awesome.
what I find to be a good tool for me, I'll wear a shirt that says, "Hey, this guy's a realtor," or "This guy loves real estate," or something like that.
My favorite is blink if you need a realtor.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just kind of letting them know off the rip, hey, this is what I do.
Mhm.
And that seems to generate conversation. So
I love that.
yeah, it's pretty cool. So I advise all you all that's on here, check it out. It's
So I could type in German Shepherd group or dogs or something like that. It might show me if it would give me
right.
groups. Oh, that's pretty dope. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anybody else find value in that? I did. That was awesome. Anybody else have anything they want to share? Okay, so we're going to move on. We're going to talk about lead gen best practices. So this is telling us track your lead sources, audit your lead sources, diversify your database, and be consistent. It's also telling us to time block your lead generation time. Prepare get in the right mindset, practice, and make a call list. Take action, conversations, maintain your database, and follow up. So what this is telling me is to set in motion what it's going to look like. So we can say all day long, lead generate. Jordan, did you lead generate today? Robert, did you lead generate today? Maria, blah, blah, blah. We can go on and on. Well, what does that look like? You know what I mean? Put a plan together. If you need help, call one of your coaches. They'd be glad to help you. Really, any agent in the office would be glad to help you, because at this point in time, we really don't know what to do, right? We don't know what that looks like. This is what that looks like. Get in the right mindset. Practice what you're going to say. Make a call list. If you're telling yourself you're going to make 20 calls today, who is that? Because then once you sit down to start making your calls, I don't know if you're anything like me, you're going to have your kids texting you and Facebook's open, and then we start looking in our phone and you're like, well, I can't call that person. I can't call that person. Maybe today you do the A's and you just tell yourself, you're going to call through the A's. Call everyone in your phone that starts with an A. And then just do it. So I kind of talked about this, battling distractions, protect your time block, build a bunker, store provisions, sweep for minds, and enlist support. So what does that mean? Hang on, I'll be right back. Right now, if you're in the office, this is what you see on my door. I made it super last minute because I forgot to make a sign, but it says Teaching Ignite. What does that tell you? If you walked by my office right now, you would probably not knock on my door, right? That's important, especially in the office, because people will knock on my door. And that's okay. I want them to, except for not right now between 1 and 3. So build a bunker. I built my bunker. I came into the office. I am here, but I've also put I've also put instructions for anyone who walks by my office. I can tell you how many people have walked by just now and they look in and they're like, what? Why can't I knock on her door? So build a bunker. Make sure people know that this is not a good time for them to come talk to you. Sweep for minds. What in your mindset, when I think of getting in a mindset to lead generate and making a plan and sticking to it, if you tell yourself, this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to make 10 calls and these are the 10 people, whether that's a letter in the alphabet or 10 people that you randomly pick, whatever the case may be. Any ahas or questions, concerns, comments, anything anybody wants to talk about? I can't hear you, Jordan. Try again. Nope, not yet. Can anybody else hear him? No? Okay. It was working earlier, right? Nope, still nothing. Doesn't like you right now. Okay, so this is what I want you to think about. How has your thinking changed? What ideas or mindsets were new? What do you feel differently about? What was meaningful to you today? How will your behaviors be different going forward? What actions will you take? What tools, models, or systems will you use? Everything that you're learning in Ignite is fantastic information. It's great. But if you don't put into motion anything that you're learning, it's not going to help. It's not. And a lot of the number one thing I hear agents say is, I want to finish Ignite first. That's a great plan. I have no problem with that plan. However, what I will tell you is that real estate is a 60-day business, and the action you take today, you should see movement in 60 days. So that's completely up to you. If you want to wait until Ignite is over, that's a great plan. But I say start today or tomorrow. But it's important to just make a plan and stick to it. That's what I take from Ignite every single time I take it. Stick to your plan. If you tell yourself that you are going to do lead generation tomorrow and you are going to call, let's start small. Let's start with 5 people. And you don't do that, you're only letting yourself down. And then guess what? On Thursday, that's going to happen too. And on Friday, that's going to happen too. You're going to continue to not do it. So I just challenge you to do it. I'm sure any of these agents in Ignite right now would want an accountability partner. So if you ask someone in here or anyone in the office if they would be your accountability partner, I bet you they would. You are correct, Jordan. Just don't start on Monday. Okay, anything else anyone wants to talk about before we take a little break? How'd I do, guys? Good? Knowledgeable information? I'm
Very
not always
good.
dressed this nice. It's only because we had our meeting today. Okay, so we're gonna break for 10 minutes. Let's come back around 1 or 2 o'clock and we will go over our next subject.
Awesome.
Thank you. I'll see you at 2 o'clock. All right. Let's get this going. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get started and just hope that people are listening. We're going to dive into growing your database. Can you guys all hear me? Yes? Not? Perfect. Thank you. Oh, I got to be on the screen. Okay. So what we're going to go over in this course is growing your database. And this is today's agenda. We're going to talk about smart database or data bank, building your database, feeding your database, communicating with your database, servicing your database, and then of course, AHAs and daily systems. This is another quote from The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. It's an amazing book. I just started it. That's another one of my goals that I've set forth for myself is to read more about real estate and selling. So your database is your business. Building up the number of names in it and a relationship with those names is really the very core of what building a real estate business is all about. So everything that we've been talking about is in this book by Gary Keller. So building up those relationships in your database. So let's talk about a smart data bank. This is a picture of what your database may look like. We categorize people in our database. Remember how I told you in my contacts, for instance, most of you are in my contacts. And it might say Maria Keller Williams, Chuck Keller Williams coaching, something like that. It helps me remember how I know you. So that way, if I go to call you, I can be like, oh yeah, how's coaching going? How's your real estate business going? Things like that. Helps me identify who you are. Your database is all about relationship management. The relationships you build and develop will grow in your business through new, repeat, and referral business. So can you guys just show me hands? Have you gotten into Command? Have you opened the app and looked in it? Okay. Who has added a contact to it? Anyone? Who has sent a home to someone to view using Command? Anyone? Okay, that's also an option. You can send it through MetroList and you can also send it through Command. This is, of course, the system that Keller Williams gives you to use for your database. There's 4 laws of a database: building a database, feeding it every day, communicating with it, and servicing all the leads. Let's talk about building your database. At a minimum, each contact should have a name, contact information, and past business record. Now, to me, that looks a little bit different because, like I said, I already, in my contact of your name, it's going to tell me how I know you. That's kind of how I keep past business record. When I put a new agent into my phone, for instance, when I have a client reach out to me that says, hey, can you check on this house? I go to MLS, I pull up the listing, I read as much as I can about it to try to learn as much as I can without calling the agent. And then I reach out to the agent. So the first thing I do is I put Susie John in my phone, and by her last name, I put the address to the house. Because that way, when she texts me, I'm not like, who is this lady? So it'll say 123 Main Street, right? To me, that's a past business record, but I think this is wanting you to dive a little bit deeper. You know, what address, what did they work on? How do you know that person? So if you have not gotten in Command to mess around in there, I strongly suggest that you do. There are a lot of Command trainings. I know trainings can seem a little boring at times, but they're necessary, right? How can you use Command if you don't know how to use it? So take some trainings. If you don't know how to find those trainings, shoot me a text, 916-501-7429. I will help you. Also, if you want more in-depth training, if you text or email Vince, he will sit down with you. You'd be surprised how much he's willing to sit down with you and show you everything that he knows about Command and how it can help you. So let's talk about feeding your database. What does that look like? Can someone give me an example of what they think feeding their database looks like? Anyone? Jordan, we still can't hear you.
Adding new contacts.
Adding new contacts? Yep. On top of that, on top of adding contacts, Jordan, maybe log out and log back in.
Feeding it information, additional information.
Yep, exactly what I was gonna say, Jason. So if I don't have, you know, Susie John's, I have her phone number, but I don't have her email. I could feed it. I could reach out to her and ask her for her email address. That's feeding it, right? Your sphere will generate new repeat and referral business. Also, asking people for testimonials and reviews. This is something I struggle with. I don't know why, but essentially you're asking someone to tell me all of the great things about me. I mean, I do want to hear it. So I don't know why it would be a problem. Jordan, let's test out your speaker.
Microphone check.
Yay!
Thank you.
Okay, so testimonials and reviews. I'm going to tell you what that looks like for me. At this point in time in my business, I am not asking people for their reviews. That's going to change very soon. I plan to have, my goal is to have an email that goes out to my clients like, hey, we'd love to hear how your experience was with me. Tell me about that. Tell me about how that looked like for you. Right now, what's happening is people are texting me. Thank you so much for working so hard and being an advocate for us. We really appreciated working with you. And you know what I do? I ask them if I can share it online. Most of the time, people aren't going to tell you no. I mean, these are people that I already know, right? They're all in my sphere. So if they tell me no, I'll say no problem at all. But most of the time, that answer is going to be yes, right? What areas of business or customer service could you ask someone to provide a testimonial or review on? Anything, really. I mean, just in the deals that I've done already, you dive a lot deeper than just buying or selling a home. And I'm going to tell you a story. My best friend was my first deal. I've known for the last 4 years that she's needed a bigger house. She lived in a very small 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. Their home was very small. They have 3 children. They needed to buy a new house. And I knew this, and I had been reaching out to her. She wasn't ready yet. She finally reached out to me, said she was ready. Long story short, I was there on moving day. Of course, she's my best friend. I'm going to help her. I walk into her bedroom, the master bedroom, which was not very large. And it was time to start moving their clothes. And I opened her closet door, and the closet door would not open unless you pushed it past the bed. That's how small her bedroom was. And I said, girl, I had no idea. And she was like, I know, I told you. So these are just little things that, you know, when you start diving deeper, you're really helping them change their life sometimes. I mean, not every time, but this is a really big thing for them, and it means a lot to them. And when we start coming from that place, rather than, hi, I'm a sales representative, will you please use me for your business? You'll see things change and relationships change. Any ahas or anything anybody wants to talk about or questions? Hey, let's talk about communicating with your database. To succeed at a high level in real estate sales, you must commit to frequent contact with your database with the intent of building those close relationships. Going back to calling everybody, touching bases with them, start building up that relationship. Let's talk about Law 3, communicate systematically. All right. So segment your database, VIP, golf, military, investor, referral, dog lover. Do you see what they're doing? You can do this in your database. You can go through one by one and make notes for yourself. That way, if you ever have a client event or something's going on in that neighborhood and you're like, hey, I know that you have 3 large German Shepherds. I think you would really love this event. That would be me. Send those my way. If there's a golf tournament that you think they might like and they're in your database and they're marked with golf. Making sense? So this is a newsletter. A lot of real estate agents use it. I have not done so yet, but I can tell you right now that there are agents in our office who have amazing newsletters, and they get business off of them. Has anybody heard of Canva? Yes. I think in 2 weeks I teach another class and it's more on social media marketing. We will dive more into Canva later, but I just want to kind of say that word a lot because it's a free resource for anyone. I use it daily. I guarantee you if you went into Canva and you typed in newsletter, you would find something. You would find a template, a free template that you could use. So this is another means that you can start. Oh, yes, Robert.
Hi, Melinda. So I had a question on Canva because I know that you're more experienced with Canva. When I signed up for Canva, they got me for I signed up for it. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess the free trial, but at a certain point, I think it's 30 days. It's gonna start charging me $12.99. Do you use the free version, or is it really necessary to pay for it? Or in what kind of situations would you really need to pay for it when most of it is pretty free, right?
I only use the free version.
Oh, okay.
I haven't had anything that I've run across that I've needed pro for.
Got it. That's what I was thinking too, because I was like, I don't know if I'm just throwing my money away to this to feature.
And I think it depends on how much you use it.
Right.
If you run across something that is pro, give it a shot for a month and see if it's worth it. I don't think it's very much. Do you remember how much it was?
It's actually so it will be $12.99. It's not bad compared to other subscriptions. I haven't found the need. Maybe I wasn't using it to its fullest potential. But if you're saying that you haven't paid for it, and I did receive the marketing, the email, the one that you guys recently just sent out. It has like a picture of us and then the background of a kitchen, which looks it looks fantastic. Thank you.
Created in Canva.
It looks amazing, and people like it.
Awesome. That's good to know. That was created in Canva. So
Right.
yeah, I haven't had a need to do anything pro.
Yeah, neither have I. So I was wondering, maybe am I missing something, or is it just me? I don't know.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of that might be worth it for pro is in Canva. They have a what are these called? I can't think of it. The QR code.
QR code.
Yes. In Canva, there's actually a QR code creator. So you can take a website and paste it into the QR creator. Maybe that's pro, but no, that's a great point, Robert. I haven't needed to use the pro. Most everything in there is free. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm going to end my subscription before it hits.
Yeah. Before you
$12.99.
pay till December.
Right.
But I will say on Canva, even if you just created the free account, go in there and there's a search bar. Just type real estate. You'll see hundreds of stuff just listed, open house, new price, whole bunch of stuff. And it might spark some curiosity for you and maybe you'll create something and share it. Okay, so let's talk about communicating with value. We're going to dig deeper in upcoming classes on both 19 to connect and 36 to convert. Now let's brainstorm some of these values. When you communicate, regardless of the message, segment, or touch, you always pair that communication with value. So in my opinion, calling your sphere and asking them how the family is, that's value. because you might not know how much that means to Susie Joe. Maybe she hasn't had anybody reach out to her in a long time. In my opinion, that's value. But this is telling us that we need to do 4 touches, quarterly phone calls, 12 touches monthly email, 2 touches to promote direct mail, 1 touch annual event. These are all things that a lot of agents are doing. It's very important information to know. Also, if you're a new agent and you don't necessarily have an event that you're, like, let's say, well, Melinda, events aren't really on my radar for the next year. Keller Williams does it for you. They have, I'm probably going to get this wrong, but I know for sure that they have a shred day and they have a, like a fall festival Halloween event. And a ton of agents here in this office, they make a flyer in Canva. Actually, the office does it for you. And if you ask them to put your photo on it, they will. And it looks like Robert Mendoza is having an event. Makes sense? So if annual events to reach out to your contacts, like, you're throwing the event yourself, which agents do, they rent out movie theaters, they have taco truck night where they invite their sphere. If that's not in the realm for you right away, I wouldn't anticipate that it would be, but Keller Williams does it for you. So just remember that when those events come up, even if you're inviting your 5 closest friends, that's okay too. So let's talk about your data bank. People choose to do business with you. That's what we are after. We want people to choose to do business with us, right? You've essentially wasted your time lead generating, putting your contacts in your database, because there is no guarantee that people will think of you when they have a real estate need. In other words, your database will not be a data bank. Let me see, I'm reading that wrong. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes. The most important communication you can make is the personal phone call. Does anybody else agree with that? I do. I took some amazing customer service training when I worked life insurance. So I've kind of been in sales a long time. I wasn't licensed to sell life insurance, but I did everything that the agent did. I called them. It was all internet-based leads. Essentially, the agent would call the person and get them to say yes. And then the agent would hand it off to me. I had to build trust with a person that I had never met in person. They had to give me their social security number. They had to tell me their medical history. That was an extremely hard job. But what I learned is communication, right? So let's say I've been emailing this person back and forth on the same subject more than 4 times. I'm calling them now, because in my opinion, it warrants a phone call. Clearly, we can't figure out what's going on via email or text or Facebook Messenger. So make a call, right? Does that make sense to everyone? Do we have any ahas or questions or comments?
Yeah, I have a question. You mentioned that KW will sponsor your private event.
No, they put on annual events so that their agents can invite their database.
Okay.
So they have a shred day where they hire a company and you can invite your sphere and they can bring their shred items.
Mhm.
So you can advertise it as come to my event.
Oh, I see.
It's at my office. It's on this day from this day and time. Bring all your shred items. Let's do some spring cleaning.
Mhm.
Come to my event at my office. It is a Halloween trunk or treat. And I'd love to say hi to you.
You said they will actually assist you with flyers with
Yeah,
your.
the office creates flyers, and I believe they will put your photo on it. If they won't, get into Canva.
Okay.
All you have to do is ask for that flyer, and I can show you how to do that. It's really easy.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's go over servicing your database. Your job is to build a community and serve the community. This is step 4. Service all leads. Plan for a lead follow-up program to leverage every opportunity. This is showing you a snapshot of command. Over here on the left-hand side, it's kind of your menu, opportunities, campaigns, consumers. There are tons of trainings. Get in there, do the training, fiddle around with it. Add yourself as a new contact. Set yourself up on a smart plan so you can see what that looks like. I don't know if that is a fear of anybody else's, but I don't know what they're gonna get, so I don't want to put them on a smart plan. Add yourself. You can see what it does for the next, 10 days or a month or whatever. Generally speaking, people aren't going to be like, you know what, can you take me off that? It's really bothering me. The chances of them saying that, in my opinion, are very slim. However, what they will do is just not open the email. But they will see your name. They will see your name pop up on their screen every day they get an email. Does that make sense? And once they're in your database, you can email them the trunk or treat, the shred day, all those things, all the good things. So we want to remember to build our database, feed it every day, communicate, and service them. Bring value. So this is just reminding you to follow the 4 laws. Don't quit too soon. The 36 touch campaign takes time to yield results. So the 36 touch, has anybody ever heard of that before? Robert has. I think Amy's mentioned it a few times in Ignite. Go into command and look at it. If you go into command and search for the smart plan, you will find 36 touch. It will tell you everything it's going to do. It will prompt you in command to call them when it's time to call them. I don't know if anybody else needs a reminder like that, but I sure do. If you don't tell me what to do, I might forget to do it. Always come from care and service. The real estate business is a relationship business. Did we just finish? We finished. Okay, so you guys saw this last time. This is your daily success system. Has anybody utilized this? You can be honest. No, not yet. Does anybody plan? Oh, Robert has. Tell us about it, Robert.
So I've been trying to be more active on social media. I think I had mentioned before, like I really I got off Facebook, not completely, but before real estate, I just wasn't using it anymore, and I've been using it more. So I don't know if people, maybe it's just me thinking, but I wonder if people are thinking like, hey, he's using Facebook more now because he's a real estate agent,
Mm-hmm. That's okay. What is
fine,
that
right?
telling them? That's telling them that you're a real estate agent. That's not a bad thing.
But I'm not like overly, consuming my platform with nothing but real estate stuff. But just getting back to posting things about what I did in my everyday life and family, and liking people's things, and actually taking time to create a message that's not so cliche and generic, and actually commenting on old friends that I haven't talked to in a long time.
I love that.
And loving it too, how Amy said, a love is like a hug virtually.
Yeah.
So I've been loving things and liking things, and it's all it's done is it's sparked conversation. So it's all a plus.
I love that. I'm going to piggyback off of what Robert said. I've had probably 3 people reach out to me just this week that I forgot were even on Facebook. Everybody has those people on their Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or Snapchat that you never see them post anything. Or maybe you don't ever see them like your stuff, even if it's family stuff, right? I had someone reach out to me and I was she sent a property to me. She's like, hey, can you find out about this property? I was like, what the heck? Where'd you come from? I haven't talked to you in so long. I didn't even know you were on Facebook. I didn't say that, of course, but that's what I was thinking in my head. And I'm kind of like Robert, I'm like my goal this year is to post more about real estate. And I was very proud of myself because I was like, it's working. Like none of those, we're not actively looking for a house yet. Like it's kind of one of those, she just saw this and she wanted to know more. That's fine too. Of course I will help you. That business probably won't turn into business for maybe a year, maybe 3 months, but I absolutely want to be a resource, right? So even though we don't think people see our stuff, they see our stuff. They absolutely see our stuff. So post away. I just want to encourage you to use this system. Print it out. Have it on your wall, have it on your desk, have it on your phone. Put this as your screensaver on your phone. Right now, mine's my dog. But if this was important to me, I used to work bartending and I used to work shows like different concerts, and I would put the drink menu here. So that way I didn't have to open my phone. I could just tap it and see it. So sometimes when things like this are important to me and I want to see it every day, I don't know about you, but I'm always on my phone. My phone is always in my hand, and this doesn't go far for me. And I look at this so much. So if this was important to me and I wanted to make sure I did it, I would put that as my screensaver. I don't know if that would help anybody else, but if you attended our meeting today, you heard about a case that was like, who remembers how much it was? It was in the millions. It's like a do not call something.
40, I think it was 40 million.
$40 million for not checking the do not call list. So I do want to point out though that I have asked our broker this question, and if you ever have a question, Bruce is amazing. Stop by his office, shoot him a text, shoot him an email. He will be glad to help you. But if they've given you their phone number, that's permission to call them. Make sense? Okay. I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and
Melinda,
people are happy to be in a relationship with me. Yes, Robert.
Well, I'm sorry, it was a delay. I got a question in regards to the do not call list.
Okay.
I was reading the the Ignite toolkit has that script book. It's called like Labs. It has a dog on it.
Yeah.
So on that one, it touched on the do not call list. Do we have like a Keller Williams like a website or database where we could plug in the number and it would like run a search?
There's a national do not call list. That's where it's kept.
Is that like a website, or
Yes.
how do we use it?
Let me see. It's called the TCPA. Let's give it a Google.
Because I've never used it, and yeah.
I don't have the answer for you on that. I'm going to find out though. Give me a second.
Yeah, especially if
There's a website.
the cold call, we want to make
Regulates
sure.
calls and texts. No, this is just let me find out for you, and I will, I'm teaching class tomorrow. So if anybody wants to follow up on that and you're not able to attend tomorrow's class, maybe just shoot me a text or an email and I'll get you that information.
Right. Yeah,
there's a website.
I'm seeing a lot about the do not call, yet I'm like a month into this and I still don't know how to verify the do not call number. So if we could get that tomorrow, that would be crucial.
Yes,
Thank you.
let me just shoot Amy. Where can I find the do not call list? Here I am telling you to use it and I don't know where to go. Yes,
Hello?
Chuck. Hi,
Hey, it's on the kwpremierhub.com.
it is. There's your answer.
Right here. Go down to resources. It's at the bottom. So here's your hub. And then go to the corner. It'll say resources. It's all the way at the bottom. It says DNC.
Let me see. Oh, you see it, Robert? Okay. Also, if you ever forget like what the website is, I always just go in here and type Keller Williams, Sac Metro, Hub. And it always comes up. Do not call list. So, and it even breaks it down by area code.
Okay, great. That's very valuable. I didn't know.
Oh,
Perfect.
it's downloading it here, down here. Do you see it? It's downloading me a list.
Oh, okay. So
That's-
it's a database, and so we it doesn't just allow us to just type in the number and then.
Well, there's a way that you can do that. If I think, what is this? This ain't it. This one is, oh, these are 916. That's why. That's weird. Are those phone numbers? Those must be phone numbers. So for instance, let's say I get what you're saying. You're like, okay, well, I can't type in a number and see if it's on the do not call list, right? My understanding. But if I went into this and I did Control F and I want to find something, I could type in my phone number. So it didn't find any. But if I did 200, it's going to find all these numbers, right? Does that make sense?
It does. I just
Control
wanna,
F.
yeah, I want to ensure that I'm verifying the how Keller Williams does want us to do that, so that we're not
10-4.
in any federal violation. You know.
Okay, I'll double check with Amy, but the do not call list is right here. And you might have to just go, one by one. Unfortunately. Okay, any other questions on the do not call list? Okay, I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in a relationship with me. Okay, so this is the part that we don't really do because we're not in person. So normally if we were in person, we would role play. Now I will tell you this, if you are interested in role playing and you don't have anybody to go to that you feel comfortable and you feel comfortable with me, I will role play with you. We can do it over Zoom. We can do it over FaceTime. We can do it in person. We can do it over the phone. I will help you. Okay. And it's uncomfortable. I will tell you that. I've done it. And, for the first five rounds, when you're saying your little spiel, you're going to laugh. And you're going to be like, oh, I messed that up. That's okay. That's why you role play. Okay. So let's see. We are done with this session. Your next session is Capture Leads with Open Houses. I am teaching that one tomorrow. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my experiences with open houses, what I do, how I set up, how I prepare. I walked into open houses with nothing and I've prepared and brought snacks. I've kind of done it all. And yeah, do you guys have any questions, ahas, comments, anything you want to chat about?
Yeah, this is my first class. How does this work as far as getting credit for it, or?
We take attendance of class.
Oh, okay.
Yep. We take
Okay.
attendance of class and we kind of keep track for you.
Okay, awesome.
I also had
Uh-huh.
a quick question. We were talking about events for clients that Keller Williams hosts. Is there any like workshops or learning, I don't know, lunch and learns or something like that we might be able to offer to the clients, like if they were a first time home buyer or anything like that?
No, but you can put one on. Have you been into the Ignite Toolkit?
No, this is my first time. I'm like brand new. So
That's okay.
I'm learning
That's okay.
everything right now.
So I'm going to get you that link for the Ignite Toolkit. There is everything that you need for a home buyer seminar. material, what you should say, the slideshow, like the slideshow's even in there. So all you have to do is market it. Hi, I'm hosting my very first home buyer seminar. I'd love to have you. And then what you want to do is have a lender there. And, then only you have to talk for part of the time. Then the lender can talk. Because the lender knows more about loans than you do, right? Or maybe not, but in my case. And we have an in-house lender. If any of you don't know Crystal, she's amazing. And if you're ever in the office and you're like, I'd really like to start building a relationship with Crystal, or at least meet her, ask her if she'll come out to my home buying seminar. Come grab me and I will take you over to her office and I'll introduce you. Her office is right next door to John's.
Okay.
But yes, we have agents host home buying seminars all the time. Did you guys know that you have access to reserve that big training room? You know where we do all of our meetings? You have access to reserve that. So let's say you wanted to do a home buying seminar in March. You would email Sam and say, hi, Sam, I'd like to see if March 23rd at from 6 to 9 is available. She'll respond to you and say, yes, it is available. Perfect. Can you put my name down, please? She doesn't ask you for what. She doesn't, I mean, all it does is reserve the time for you. That's yours to use. So you could go in there and host your own home buying seminar essentially, because anybody that hosts a home buying seminar is going to be a real estate agent. So I wouldn't want my clients going to Jordan's. No offense, Jordan. But do you see what I'm saying? But we prepare all of that for you. We give you all of the resources. And can I tell you what I did to prepare for today? I've taught classes before, but not Ignite. And I was nervous. You know what I mean? And so there's actually a service called Loom, Loom. It's free. I pulled up the slides and it records you. It does a little circle on the bottom of your screen and it records you. So I acted like I was teaching class and I recorded myself. So that's another way to practice. Do you have a question, Jordan?
No.
Okay. You're just
The practice paid off. You did great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Any other questions or comments, guys? No, I think I breezed through
I have
this
a
a little
question.
too fast. Oh, go ahead.
Hey, this morning, I think Amy sent me a email for Metro List and it walks you through the database. What's the difference between using Metro List and the Keller Williams database, Compass?
Well, when you put a contact into Metro List, essentially you're setting them up on a search. So you're telling Metro List what information they need to find for you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
it.
why
And
is the
essentially-
command is just to establish your database?
A command is a place to store your database. Metro
Okay.
List is going to find houses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and all from my knowledge and my memory, all Metro List is going to ask you for is their name and their email address.
Okay, I thought it was a database also.
No,
Okay,
not to
Thank
my
you.
knowledge. Yeah, no problem. Yes, Robert.
So I have a question and a comment, Melinda. First is my comment. You did a really good job.
Thank you.
And my question is, so I really want to start getting dive deep into open houses. And I wanted to know, is there like an in-house list of open houses opportunities that are like top dog agents can provide us, so we can do we just sign up, or how does that work? How do open houses work within Keller Williams, Sac Metro, or even the Fair Oaks office?
So going back to the hub, can you see my screen?
Yes.
There's an open houses tab. These are all of the open houses that are available to you to any agent within Keller Williams, Fair Oaks, or Sac Metro. This is where I did my first, this is where I got my first open house. And actually, a lot of my open houses. Right now, Amy has 2 that she's offering to the coaching agents. So I know we send out a lot of emails throughout the week, but you want to look at those open house emails because she's offering you her listings. And you can host those at any time. We also have agents come to us that they're like, I need help from coaching. Can you please advertise this open house? We try to send those out as soon as we get them. So if you ever see an email come through on like Thursday or Friday, that's because the agent brought it to us on Thursday or Friday. So, but this is the hub, and this is all the houses that are available to you. Another option, come into the office. When you see an agent walking by, say, hey, Robert, do you have any open houses that I might be able to host for you? The only thing they're going to say is no, but they're going to be thankful because a lot of those big time agents need help hosting open houses.
And with this this database right here, can you see the last time there were previously the open houses? Like,
I don't believe so. What I do is I take this address and I put it into the MLS and I look at it and I pick what I want to host. My next goal is to host one like maybe in Roseville. I haven't really ventured out to Roseville, but I would like to host one that's like this 967 one. Yes, please. Because anybody that comes into there might be in that price range.
right.
Makes sense?
And are you able to scroll there, or is it just that that
You
list-
are if there's
Okay.
more, but this is how you request an open house
Okay.
right here. But you would be able to scroll on that portion if there was more. I've seen that page long.
Okay.
before.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you just put in your request and you wait for the other agent to respond, or
It's the office that responds.
the office? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, have all of you joined the Facebook group?
I am.
Okay. Michael Soros, he's an owner of our office, just posted this morning that he has a house that he needs open. So that Facebook group can be a resource for you as well. Agents
Perfect.
go on there and they're like, I need an open house for this. You know what I mean? So watch for Amy's emails regarding open houses. Go to the hub, see if you find one that you like, and watch the Facebook group, and also start building some relationships here in the office. And then you can just ask people if they have open houses available. Any other questions, comments, or concerns, or anything you guys want to chat about? Is anybody interested in role playing? Text me, Jordan. Let's meet next week. Okay.
All right.
I
Cool.
need help too. I need, I haven't asked, I've role played a few times before, and it's always been a challenge of mine to be like, ask me, like, be a jerk. You know what I mean? Because I need to help myself with that. Like, I'm not interested right now. Like, I need help with that sort of stuff. So yeah, if anybody else is interested, maybe we can just make a little day of it, or like a half a day or an hour or something, and we can practice, but only if that's your jam.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
I just walked into your open house and you're trying to get my email. What's your approach?
My approach
Do you have
is
a
for
book
my
out?
protection. And it's all not just for my protection, it's also for the homeowners. So there's 2 ways that you can do it. And it's going to be based off your personality. You could let anyone come in and not make them give you anything. And that's okay. And then ask for the close before they leave. Like, hey, how are you searching for homes? How'd you find me? How'd you find this open house? I can tell you that almost any agent is going to tell you that's the wrong way to do it. You should get their information before entering the home. I can tell you it's awkward. People get irritated.
Yeah, I had somebody that wouldn't even shake my hand. They're like, no.
Well, that could be a COVID thing, right? So they could be, you know, maybe they don't shake hands. I always ask people, are you shaking hands, or, you know, what's this called? Knuckles?
This month, yeah.
Fist bump? Like, people are weird after COVID, and that's okay. I actually have really good friends that COVID completely freaked them out and they didn't do anything. That's okay. But I will tell you, you always want to get something from them. I don't get something from everyone who enters my open house, but that's who I am. I'm not going to be pushy. You know what I
Right.
mean? I would hope that, you know, you liked me enough that you asked for my information, but I also let people look at the home and I don't follow them around. I always
Right.
tell them, I am not the listing agent. I'm hosting this house open for them, giving them some help. I do know some information about the house, so please feel free to ask me. I'm just going to let you look at the house. Let me know if you have any questions. But for me, it's a little bit different because I'm a woman. So for me, it's a safety thing. Who are you? I need some sort of record. So in case, I've literally told people this, I need record in case I go missing. And I'm going to be honest with you, if they have a problem with that, that's their bad. And I don't want them in my open house anyways. So if you don't want to say something like that, you can always put it back on the homeowner. You know what? Think about it this way. If I was listing your house for sale, wouldn't you want to know who was in your home? Especially if they live there. You know what I mean? I would want to know who's in my home.
Right.
I've never had anybody tell me no for their email address. I have had people say, so this means I'm going to be on your list. And I said, yes, it does, but you can easily unsubscribe from it. I'm honest with them. Like, yeah, you are going to be on my mailing list, but I'm also going to know who's entering the home to make sure that my safety is valid, right? And the homeowner knows who's entering their home. You just
Guess
got to
they
get
take the book and
comfortable.
run.
Yeah. You just got to get comfortable being uncomfortable, to be 100% honest with you, because it's never a fun topic. Hey, give me your email address. You can't enter. I have done that. I haven't done this, but yes, Robert.
How about on the advertisement? So let's say you host an open house. Is there like a particular flyer that you should create the day prior to the open house, or do you have to use the flyer that the listing agent wants you to use, or and can you put your name on there, or how does that work when it comes to like flyers for the open houses, so that you could, you know, walk around the neighborhood, canvass it, pass out flyers and stuff like that?
Okay. Never forget that this is your business. Okay.
Mhm.
Hang on a second.
Absolutely.
Keller Williams, Sag Metro. Because when I clicked on this, it kind of gives you an outline. Never forget that this is your business. You are allowed to use any flyer you want. You can do as much advertising as you want. This is the pop-up that pops up when you click on this in the hub. It tells you everything that they expect you to do. At a minimum, you need to drop flyers. I don't door knock anytime I do open houses. I'm not there yet. I don't like it. It's uncomfortable for me. It's not what I would throw up. Okay. So I drop flyers. I print 100 or 50, however big the, you know, neighborhood is around it. And I would drop flyers. I will tell you that tomorrow's class is strictly on open houses. So I think we're going to dive into a lot of this tomorrow. But
Okay,
you
cool.
can use whatever flyer you want. And Canva, if you go into Canva and type in open houses, there are a million.
Are we required to put on our flyers that we create for ourselves, if we do an open house at 123 Main Street, do I also have to give like credit to the listing agent on there and put their information?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Because you are hosting the open house.
Okay.
You're not advertising that the house is for sale. You're advertising your open house.
I see. Okay. So we're not legally mandated to put their information on the flyer.
No.
Okay. Got it.
Yep. But again, as long as you're advertising the open house. Yeah. Tomorrow you will learn a lot about open houses. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. Leads come to you. Yes, please. Any other questions or anything we can go over? Okay, we ended 10 minutes early. Talking fast is good, right?
Very good.
All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you got some value out of this. And I had fun with you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Melinda. Bye.
Okay, I'll see you.
Thank
Melinda.
you.
Boom.
Bye.